Hi, I'm Alden.
Hi, I'm Francis.
Welcome back to the ChattyAF podcast.
Today we have Joyce here from our micro course, Study Abroad, and she's here to share her story about applying to master programs in the U.S.
I'm Joyce, and I'm a senior student in Chemical and Materials Engineering. I'm here since I want to study abroad in America.
All right, so Joyce, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the schools that you're trying to apply for in the States?
I'm going to apply to 5 college schools, including Purdue, Illinois, and UIUC. UCI, UC Irvine, UC San Diego, and hold on.
That was 5. Do you have more?
UIUC and Illinois is the same.
Okay, got it.
Abbreviation.
So you're missing one more.
Yeah, but Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh, nice. They're all very different places. How did you choose these 5 schools?
I would say since there's some impressions on me, those schools is a little bit like most of the Asians are there, and there are popular schools for Taiwanese, I think.
Oh, yeah. We've noticed that almost everyone we talk to, they all apply to Purdue for some reason. Why are those schools popular among Taiwanese students?
I think because of the tuition and the place, something I like that. But I think some Taiwanese wouldn't choose the schools in California, since for me, I wouldn't choose there because there's 2 Asian people. So I choose the one a little bit far from California.
Oh, very interesting.
Out of all of these schools, which one do you think has left the biggest impression on you when you've done research? Do you get a strong feeling or a strong good feeling from any one in particular?
I would say UC Irvine, since in my impression, UC Irvine is a school that is a little bit new compared to other schools. And that is a school especially a little bit small. But there's a lot of instruments and infrastructure in engineering. So like there's about 5 centers in research.
Wow.
So that is, and compared to the school in UC San Diego, there's only 1 centers. So I think that is a little bit like strong attraction for me.
Yeah, great.
Wow. Clearly you did your research. Sounds like maybe something you use in your SOP. Speaking of the SOP and just documents for grad school, what has that been like? I know we've been working on it in the micro course and also consultations, but can you just talk about your experience and kind of share with the audience? Is it challenging? Just, overall, what's the
I think SOP and personal statement is 2 of the most important documents when applying to the schools or study abroad. And I think those documents are really hard to prepare because Taiwanese is not familiar with writing yourself and selling yourself. Like I know everyone in Taiwan has their personalities and their specialties, but it is hard to write down and to say the details you want to express.
Kind of before we've started this micro course and before, you've come to our consultations, did you ever have to express yourself through writing in this way?
No.
Even in Mandarin?
Yes.
Wow, okay, yeah.
Oh, not even in Mandarin or Chinese?
Yeah, since there's 2 ways to apply to the college schools, and I'm the one in only examination. So I didn't like selling myself to write my personalities before.
Okay.
Couldn't be us. We're very much the opposite. We're very much like we express ourselves through our writing and through interviews, and we're not like the exam guys,
Even in US, I would say, especially during COVID, do you know SATs and
Yes.
and GREs?
GRE,
They paused it. And a lot of schools in California, especially for high school students, they don't need to take SATs anymore. Yeah, because they care more about like the holistic view of their application. So again, GPA, transcripts, their essays. So it's really interesting that the model is quite different in Taiwan. I could never.
No, dude, no. So this is cool that you're kind of getting the other side of this sort of application process. Do you think it's like really hard, or has it been kind of natural for you?
I would say ChatGPT helps me a lot. Yeah, because it is before, if without ChatGPT, I can write myself and my personalities or something like that, but I can revise now with ChatGPT. But I think that's a little bit, because you have ChatGPT, so you don't need to think more about the collocation, and you don't need to think about the words you want to use. Yeah, so I'm afraid that the candidates who we want to apply, the documents will be a little bit similar because they are all from like AI.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Something that we really haven't discussed on our podcast. Yeah. What do you think? I think AI is. Well, I kind of know how you feel about chat.
I mean, I don't love the I don't love the need to use as much water for fueling it, but at the same time, I also understand that like you said, when we were at that Indian restaurant that one time. So we're at an Indian restaurant together. We're like kind of hashing this out, the pros and the cons, and it is
full on debate.
Full on debate mode. Right, very American. You do have a point. And it is the fact that it is night and day to see the differences between, a raw, like just from mind to paper or mind to computer style of typing versus what AI can help you do in terms of crafting it. But there is one thing that I do want to say specifically to all the viewers who are writing their SOPs right now. Storytelling still matters, and AI can't tell your story for you. So if you have the ability to kind of put little stories into even the intro of the SOP, even if it's less story driven and less story focused, there are still some tactics, some basic methods of storytelling that you can implement in the statement of purpose in each paragraph to kind of bring out your personality and your motivation. It's kind of how you talk about it. So while, I understand that like ChatGPT ain't going anywhere anytime soon, and it's kind of the new meta for how students are going to write. The new challenge is, how do you tell your story?
Yeah, on top of that, I think if you use it as a tool, right? Come up with your story first, come up with what you want to say, and then use it as a tool to revise, make it sound better. But at the end of the day, what I think is most important, especially personal statement, and SOP, of course, but more so the personal statement, is just making sure you have your voice, right? Because I think ChatGPT definitely writes in a certain way, and it's quite obvious, I think. And so making sure you can use it as a tool to maybe adjust certain words, certain vocabulary, grammar, what have you. But at the end of the day, you want to still sound like you and kind of have your spin, your narrative, your voice into it.
I have a question for you, actually. When you put a document into ChatGPT, does it ever write like really long sentences?
Oh, for me, I personally write a little bit short story. And revised by ChatGPT with the grammars and...
So you're using like a tool. So you're not coming up with...
But the words is like always the same from ChatGPT. It's obvious for selecting several words. Like they always use delve into and... enthusiastic and I'm passionate and it's a little bit AI.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. That's fascinating because in some of my other consultees' papers, chat will help them write these really long sentences that are like, it's like the paragraph is 2 sentences, but it's like 10 lines. You know, so it's like 5-line sentences that are just long lists of things. I don't know if you dealt with that. I don't know how much you've had a chance to delve into that, but yeah, that's something that I've noticed personally. Okay, interesting.
I think it matters. If that matters. How I ask ChatGPT
I was just going to
revise.
say, yeah, I think it's the way you prompt it. Like, what command are you giving it? Is it making it longer? Or like, I think one of the advisor, maybe, we have an advisor who went over AI and talks about like, how can you use AI to accurately show what you want? And so I think the way you ask chat is really important, not just like, revise, not just edit, because those are very simple commands or like asks. But if you dive into, can you add more imagery, or if you ask it to shrink it from 5 sentences to like 3 or something, I think the more specific the demand, the better result you get.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, but there is so much on AI. I think I'm curious how, universities here in Taiwan, but also universities in the US, as they see more and more of this, like what are they going to do? And I kind of mentioned this, I think interviews are going to be quite important as we move forward, because you get to really hear the person's voice. And you can prepare for interviews, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be you in front of the screen, or hopefully in person. Because I also noticed if it's Zoom interviews, they can like still use AI. They'll have like a screen on the side. So it's very interesting, and I'm very curious where you've moved to.
Have you ever interviewed someone who is using AI?
No, I don't think so, but I've seen and I've heard students talk about, like my high school students talk about how like sometimes they'll use AI to prepare for interviews. I don't know if it's like, side by side view, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, like having an answer written out.
Yeah.
Got it.
Even presentations in Taiwan will prepare by ChatGPT, like the drafts and transcripts. Yeah.
When we are doing TA observations, I see a lot of freshman students as they're preparing to come up to speak. They're just even I think yesterday.
Yeah, even yesterday.
Yesterday.
There are plenty of students. Of students who are using the phones. Not all though.
No,
Not
for
all.
sure.
Yeah.
And you can tell like some were just from their own voice, from their own mind, but then there are some who are just like legit reading, and they were really big words.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what?
No,
Especially the
sure.
big words. It's like, what does this mean?
Yeah, of course. It was really fascinating to see that, because we had a huge range of students who had no script, who were just thinking from mind to speech. We had a couple students who had like a little light script, some bullet points that they were reading from, but it was still their own words. Other students who had full-on ChatGPT scripts, and other students who, basically had like a script, but that was from the mind. Like they had written stuff out, but it was still their words.
It's
so it was kind of like four different types.
Yeah, for me, so I didn't like to prepare the presentation by ChatGPT, because the words is really hard to memory. That's not my tone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be, I think, as we move forward, interviews will be quite important. To differentiate. But I don't know how UCs, for example, University of California's, with such a big applicant pool, like how will they interview everyone? But yeah, I don't know. AI is definitely interesting. But I view it as a useful tool.
Yes, it really is. Because I compared the documents, the SOP from me and the students like 5 years ago. There's a totally different drafts. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, when was ChatGPT invented?
Like earlier this year / 2023. Okay. I think I had a friend who was he was bullying ChatGPT. He's a friend from college. He's from Spain, and he was basically prompting ChatGPT to stop doing certain things. and then he would prompt it to start doing certain things, and he completely contradicted himself when he was doing this. And then he would, type like nasty things into the Chat GPT document, basically like saying, like, what's wrong with you, Chat? Don't you know what I mean by this? And Chat's like, okay, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I think that was it was like summer of 2023 when it really started.
Yeah. So I remember first going off. The English teacher at the time at my high school, she noticed that a lot of students were just turning essays that did not make sense. So I think if you just ask ChatGPT to write your essay, I think it becomes, again, quite obvious because there isn't transition, or there isn't really this flow to the essay. It's just very random with big words. And so I think Chat probably also has evolved,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what it is. It's still early, right? Like you said 2 years? Two,
Yeah,
3
like
years?
I don't even think we're like 2 full years into this being like out in public spaces where like practically everyone is using it. At least not to my memory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy though. It's a huge unifying factor because, American students are using it, Taiwanese students use it, everybody uses it.
I'm wondering that if American writes the essays with ChatGPT, because you have your own basic knowledge, you don't need to ChatGPT.
Yeah, I think it's just laziness, especially for those who are just using it from scratch. I think that's the worst, because then you're not even trying at all versus using it as a tool again to compare your writing versus Chat, or just again using it to change up certain vocabulary words or sentence structure.
I'm really thankful for your consultation because I'm struggling with the words. Pick the words that it is more like persuasive and strong. I don't think Chat is good to do that.
Yeah, no, that's why again, like these human to human interactions, and just like right when you read it, or when I read it, I have a certain like emotion from your writing, or like from students writing, and then based on that I can then give you advice, right? Yes. Otherwise, again, because Chat is just, unless you prompt it to do that, it's just difficult. So no, it's been really fun reading your applications. That's honestly like my favorite part of this job, like the consultations and the micro course, because you get to help one-on-one. So besides essays, testing too, it's been great to just help students with testing, because I don't think, again, Chat or any AI can do that yet, especially with TOEFL or TOEIC. You still have to practice yourself and figure out ways to improve, and that's where we come in.
Yes.
Yeah. And in terms of testing, are you preparing for yours?
That's the sad part. I'm struggling to prepare the IELTS test instead of TOEFL, because that is really hard to prepare. So I select the IELTS to prepare. But I'm still keeping going. I'm still moving forward, but I'm not well prepared.
Yeah. IELTS, what do you need for grad school? 7.5?
7.
Oh, okay.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 is, I think 7 is very manageable for you.
Yeah.
I've had a couple students get 7s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did they prepare for getting 7?
That I don't know. Each of them had at least 4 sessions with me, though. So at least a few weeks, but I'm sure it was much longer than that.
Yeah. They'd taken it before too, right?
Yes, one of them had taken it twice before, and one took it for the first time.
Yeah.
We actually next semester are going to have a micro course that focuses on test prep, and it'll probably be at the same time as the one that you were a part of. So if you'd like to, you can sign up for it. I was thinking that IELTS would actually be the first one that we go over, because we've already created material for that one.
I thought TOEFL is more common for anyone to take.
I think TOEFL is definitely more common in the US,
Yes.
and then IELTS is more common for UK. But I'm pretty sure, at least the UC system, I don't know about other schools, I know they accept both.
Yes.
Actually, many of them accept both. Yeah.
Yeah. IELTS is the smartest one because you can use it in more places,
Yes.
I think. TOEFL is like mostly like American concentrated, but like IELTS is in addition to the UK, it's like Australia, New Zealand,
okay.
some American colleges, Europe, all of that.
Yeah.
So smart choice.
What are you going to prepare for the micro course? IELTS writing or
Yes.
all
Yeah.
of them speaking or?
Yes. Yeah. It would probably be the speaking and writing skills for all of the different tests because we understand that those are the hardest parts. Reading and listening is something that Taiwanese students usually nail. Like usually the scores are very high.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. The style of education, especially from middle school onward, has a strong receptive skills, kind of like a rote memorization process, which is really, really beneficial for these two skills. It does not address the other two as strongly, and there's like a clear gap. And so we'd probably focus first on like IELTS writing and then IELTS speaking, two of the hardest parts of the exam. And we would break them up part by part. The other nice thing about IELTS is that you're with a person, and a person is more kind of like understanding and more real than like speaking into
The machine.
Like a machine.
Yeah. No, I do hear IELTS is easier, like slightly.
Yes.
That's what I
for
hear. I don't know.
speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think personally more easily.
Yeah.
Because that is, I think I took the TOEFL test before, and you need to speak to machine, and there's like the models you need to say out. There's no natural.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not that human to human interaction.
You see the clock ticking down in front of you, and it's like, oh my God,
No.
Since you're going to the States, though, we were also kind of curious. Like you're thinking about California, you're thinking about Michigan, you're thinking about, these different locations. Do you have a strong impression of either the West Coast or the Midwest, like Michigan, Illinois, those kinds?
Are you ready for the cold?
Yeah.
I heard about the cold.
If you think this is cold, like wait till you get to like Michigan. Whew.
Yeah.
It
really, really
it gets below 0.
Yeah.
Minus 10.
Probably,
frequently.
yeah.
But the wind in NCO is a little bit huge. That it is a little bit more cold than the temperature showed.
Yeah, it does feel like it these days. It does. But around Michigan, it gets pretty cold too.
Really?
Yeah.
And windy. Well, not as windy as like Illinois or like Chicago, but
Yeah.
Because I went to Korea for Seoul, and there's the temperature below 0, but I think that's not cold for me, because I think specifically the rain and the wind in here is more.
yeah,
Yeah.
the wind is really catching me off guard.
Yeah.
When our coordinator Shelly was like, "It gets cold. Be prepared." I was like, "Psh,
Yeah, no, we
cold,
rolled our eyes.
Cold Taiwan never."
Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Oh man, my hands are kind of blue."
Oh yeah, no. I was completely humbled by the weather as well. Like, wearing t-shirts the entire year, and then the second December comes around 3-4 days, No. Do you prefer like an environment in particular? Like, do you think you could see yourself in California more than the Midwest, or vice versa?
I would say I like to experience the cold, because I'm from Kaohsiung, and that is like all the years in summer.
Yeah.
So I want to experience this cold, but I'm not sure if I can take that cold.
Yeah. Have you seen snowfall?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I think that's a little bit I can sustain. I can.
Okay. Cool. Where have you seen snowfall?
In Seoul too.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't. Oh, must know. Makes sense. Cool. Yeah, you'll get a lot of that if you go to Purdue, Illinois,
Yeah, that's
Michigan.
all cold, right?
Yeah, super cold.
Yeah.
Like just that area, like that Midwest. And you can always like visit those different schools too.
Yeah.
Depending, when you hear your results back, it might be great to like visit because they're all super close. So I did a road trip, and I just started in Illinois and went down to Indiana, then back up to Michigan.
Where's the John Hopkins?
Hopkins is in Maryland, so it's like by DC.
I was a little far away.
Far away.
Yeah.
Is that cold? Or?
No, I don't. No, it's not too cold. But I actually finished that degree online, so I wasn't there in person. Yeah.
How's the experience in online programs?
Ooh, that's a great question. I loved it because I had the chance to teach and do it at the same time. So I was still making money because that's a big part of, I think, grad school and just like PhD programs for me, not being able to make money and like go do things. Being a student is hard, but not only because you're studying and writing, researching papers, but I think when you don't have money, it's kind of hard. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that online program because I did all my schoolwork on Saturday, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for the 2 years, I really didn't have a life. I was teaching Monday to Friday, then studying during the weekends. But my program was quite applicable. So all the things I was reading, all the things that I was learning through the online program, I had a chance to try the next week. So if I read about a theory, then I would put that theory to test. And it was quite unique because a lot of it was just, okay, try this out and then report back, reflect. Did it work for you?
Is that the program like they are recording courses or just taking courses on weekends?
For me, it was discussion boards. So we have this platform, I think it's called Blackboard. I don't know, have you ever used no, like anyway, it's like some online discussion.
Canva I've used, but not Blackboard.
Okay. But anyway, like you have readings you're assigned, and then you complete the reading, you try out the theory, then you post your like ideas, you post your reflection, and then all your classmates, we had to respond to 3 of them. So you're pretty much exchanging ideas, but remotely. And this was before COVID, right? So it was quite different. And I again enjoyed it because it allowed me to do it on my own time versus going to class. Because I think a lot of time going to class, you're learning from a professor, but especially here in Taiwan, I don't think students are listening. So I don't know, at least not the ones that we've seen. And so you're going home anyway to review the material, to read your textbook, to learn online. So that's what it was, right? We didn't have a professor. We had, we didn't have the professor teach. Like the person was just there to assign us readings and guide us through our thinking and really just push our reflections. Like, okay, we see you tried this, but then we also recommend you try XYZ. So it was quite interactive, even though it was online. And unlike being in a classroom where you just sit and
that's
and have to listen, I was like, great, I'll just read and then try it out, and then my professors will give me feedback. So I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Maybe it's rewarding than the classes we took right now.
I know, but I also understand with STEM, right? Like you have to, like labs, projects, you have to have a professor. But otherwise, I think even the TA sessions, I'm just like, what's the purpose of these TA sessions? Like, are they really? I mean, the ones who play games are great, but then there are some TA sessions where they're just like talking at them, like the TAs. And
I mean, that's why we're there. You know, we're there to hopefully.
Yeah, if they listen.
Yeah. I mean, one can only hope that it helps. I mean, sometimes we see the results, and sometimes, you know, people change, and they actually.
But you experienced online learning here for a little bit. Were you in high school or freshman here?
Oh, at my time, I didn't experience that much because during the COVID, I'm preparing for the examinations, enrollment for the college.
So you were. You had finished high school.
Yes, finished high school, and then during that time is in COVID, but I didn't take the class that time.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be very curious to hear what it was like in Taiwan, because Taiwan, I heard, did a great job.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
Online, if online courses, no one is listening. No one. Yeah, they just put the camera there, put the screen there, and then didn't do anything. Take the sleep and go.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that was common everywhere, but at least you were. It was online for like shorter amount of time?
Yes, maybe we are shorter, like 3 months or.
Oh, we had a year and a half. Well, some places in the U.S. I hear some other states like, nope, we're going back in person.
Yeah. No, I was saying yes before because Taiwan handled the pandemic much better than Europe.
Well, relatively, right?
Relatively speaking. I'm comparing, continent to continent or country to country. Taiwan was much better. But yeah, online education, which I experienced for a few months in middle school in Penghu. That was a challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge. And did you have the engineering friends in United States, and how's they going?
Yeah, sure. Did you want to start, or should I?
Engineering friends. Maybe students. I have a lot of students who are now in undergrad, but friends, I don't know. Not anyone for master's program, at least. A lot of my students are doing aerospace or might be doing mechanical or just electrical, but I don't know any master students.
Ooh.
I do have one friend in chemical engineering, and he's in Philly, and he's enjoying it. He's in a lab a lot, but he likes lab work. He likes he likes just simply locking in, doing his job.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he likes it. But yeah, I've had other friends from college kind of go to the same universities for the master's program. Yeah.
Or they all stay in the laboratory. I don't think there's thesis.
Yeah, not all of them. It's just some of them,
I couldn't imagine that they stay in the laboratory.
Yeah. No, for sure.
All right, Alden, time to do your thing.
Oh, yeah? I guess it is that time. Thank you for joining us again on the ChattyAF podcast. Click subscribe, do all the things, and we'll catch you next time.
And thank you, Joyce, for joining. It was really fun. Good luck on hearing back, and excited to continue to hear your journey in grad school.
Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Keep us posted. Bye-bye.
See you.